I started late in life, 10 years old. Our family talked politics, and I just had a real interest in it. And in 1952, my parents were divorced, and my mother's brother, my uncle, was at the Democratic Convention in Chicago. And I was really intrigued by the fact that he was there. The convention was on the radio. He was supporting Estes Kefauver for president. My mother was for Adlai Stevenson. I couldn't figure out why my mother was different than her favorite brother. It all intrigued me. And so when we were in Florida at the time, and when we got back to Ferndale, Michigan, where I grew up, I started going into these campaign headquarters and collecting bumper stickers and buttons. And I remember I used to go to the Republican headquarters and the Democratic headquarters almost every day to see what kind of gadgets and stickers they had. And at one point, a gentleman in the back room with a big cigar, wearing a hat, this is 1952, said to me, "Hey kid, how would you like to earn a little bit of money by handing out leaflets?" And I said, "Sure." And I got one of my neighbor friends, Gary Knight, who's still a dear friend. And they drove us around a car, and we ran door to door putting leaflets on doors. And this is 1952, for 25 cents an hour, which was, I would have probably done it for nothing. But I just caught the bug, and it was for Adlai Stevenson for president, G. Mena Williams for governor. And what was exciting was years later I lived to not only meet Adlai Stevenson on the boardwalk in Atlantic City and tell him I had worked on his campaign when I was 10, but be sworn in as governor by G. Mena and Soapy Williams. It was just really interesting. I just always had an interest in government and politics, whether it was at Ferndale High or Michigan State. Always interested in foreign affairs, interested in, what makes the wheel go round, what makes things tick, how do you change things, how do you build a better world. And also, it's a people business. It's a service business, and you have to like people to go into politics. I rarely met anyone I didn't like, and I think, again, that's good for politics. But, in terms of my early political years, working with Frank Kelly was a fabulous opportunity. Working with Sander Levin, I was one of his field directors. There are a lot of different people I've met. Becoming an assistant AG in Michigan, you get to learn all about the structure of government, what's going on. Frank Kelly gave me that great opportunity. Sandy Levin then utilized my organizational skills for his campaign for governor in 1970. And I still stay in touch with Frank Kelly, of course. And I see a lot of Sander Levin because we spent a lot of time in Washington, and Sandy is still a really, really active member of Congress, still going strong after 40 years. It's pretty amazing. But I've had a chance to meet and work with a lot of different people, whether it was Richard Nixon or Tip O'Neill, or of course one of my favorites, Bill Clinton. I've had really an armchair to history, so I feel very lucky.